The film opens on a particularly rainy night. A man sits alone in his pickup truck, clearly troubled and on the edge. He slowly removes his wedding band and throws it into the back seat with contempt. He lights a match, gets out of the car carrying a gas canister and a hammer, and breaks into a house. The inhabitants run toward the noise, only to be violently taken down. He pours gasoline all over the house and sets it on fire. As he drives away, the house explodes in a massive fireball behind him. The next morning, Rachel Flynn is sleeping on the sofa when her best friend and lawyer Andy wakes her up. He tells her that her soon-to-be ex-husband is trying to take the house and that they should file an objection. Rachel cuts the conversation short when her young son Kyle comes in and reminds her they are going to be late. And in the dining room, Kyle is sitting with his uncle Fred, who is talking to his elderly mother. The news is playing in the background, reporting the violent attack from the night before. The man was the woman's ex-husband with a long history of substance abuse and domestic violence. Fred and Kyle chat casually while Rachel frantically searches for her candy cane scissors. Fred's girlfriend joins them at the table, and they discuss their ongoing financial problems, especially the high cost of the mother's nursing home. Rachel leaves with Kyle, and they get into their old, unreliable car. They end up stuck in heavy traffic and argue about whether to take the freeway. Rachel decides to do it despite Kyle's protests that they are going to be late. While driving, Rachel gets a call from her soon-to-be ex-husband. Kyle picks up excitedly, but is immediately disappointed when his father cancels their plans to go to a game. Rachel tries to soften the blow for her son. To make matters worse, they get stuck in another traffic jam on the freeway. Rachel receives another call, this time from a difficult client. When she can't lie her way out of being late again, the client fires her on the spot. Kyle teases her gently to cheer her up, then suggests they take the next exit and go through the service streets. Coming off the freeway, they stop at a red light behind a gray pickup truck. When the light turns green and the truck doesn't move, Rachel starts honking impatiently and drives around it. At the next light, the pickup pulls up beside them. It is the same man who burned down the house earlier that night. He demands they roll down the window. Kyle does it. Rachel and the man have an awkward, escalating confrontation. He patronizes her, then apologizes in a mocking way, clearly expecting her to apologize too. Rachel snaps back at him. He becomes rattled and visibly angrier, threatening that she is about to find out what a truly bad day feels like. Kyle is scared and begs his mom to drive away. The man starts following them. He cuts them off twice. Rachel takes a different route and barely manages to get Kyle to school, though they are very late. She calls Andy and asks him to meet her for breakfast in 20 minutes, promising not to be late even though she is running low on gas. Rachel stops at a gas station, sets the pump, and goes inside to buy a few things. When she returns to the cashier to pay, she sees the gray pickup parked directly behind her car. Worried, she tells the cashier and a helpful guy standing in line that the man in the pickup has been following her after an argument. The guy offers to walk her out and get his license plate number for her. As she finishes fueling and gets back in the car, the guy tells her the plate number and stays behind to confront the man in the pickup, warning him not to follow. Suddenly, the man rams the helpful stranger with his truck, sending him flying into the street where he is hit by another car. The pickup continues chasing after Rachel without hesitation. Rachel tries desperately to lose him, but they get stuck in another traffic jam with him right behind her. He rams her car repeatedly. No other drivers react or help. When traffic starts moving again, Rachel frantically searches for her phone to call for help, but it is gone. The man pulls up beside her and shows her that he now has her phone. She speeds off, causing an accident and nearly running over a woman on the sidewalk. Thinking she has finally lost him, Rachel pulls into a parking lot to hide and calm her nerves. Meanwhile, Andy is waiting for her at a diner, repeatedly calling but only getting voicemail. The man with the pickup walks into the diner and heads straight for Andy. He lies smoothly, claiming to be an old friend of Rachel's, and sits down to chat. They talk about scary road rage experiences and Rachel's ongoing divorce. The man defends her soon-to-be ex-husband, making Andy increasingly uncomfortable. The man then offers to call Rachel and hands Andy his own phone. Back in the parking lot, Rachel is looking for her tablet when she suddenly hears ringing. She finds a phone and answers it, even though it isn't hers. The man gives the phone to Andy, who tells her he is waiting with an old friend. Rachel says she doesn't know anyone by that name. The man takes the phone back. The moment she starts calling him a psycho and explaining what happened, he tells her she needs to apologize to him in person. Andy realizes something is very wrong and asks for his phone back. That is the moment the man attacks. He smashes a cup into Andy's face, breaking his nose. Everyone in the diner is shocked, but no one intervenes. The man slams Andy's head on the table, knocking him out, then puts Rachel on speaker. He continues talking to her, asking if Andy is really just her lawyer and friend, or if she is cheating on her husband with him, just like his own wife did. He tells Rachel to say her last words to Andy as he chokes him, and eventually stabs him to death while the people in the diner do nothing except film the horror on their phones. As the man walks out of the diner, he tells Rachel that Andy is dead. She tries to plead with him and apologize, but he doesn't believe her and speeds away. The man calls Rachel again from her own phone and starts reciting all the messages she has received, including one from her son's school. He toys with her cruelly, asking her to choose who he should kill next from her contact list. When she refuses, he drains all her money and sends it to her husband, then threatens to go after her mother and burn down her house. Rachel desperately chooses herself, but he rejects it and demands another name. She gives him the name of the client who fired her. He hangs up. Rachel immediately calls the police. They arrive at the client's house, but the man is not there. Back at Rachel's house, her brother Fred is watching the diner murder on the news. He hears strange noises from another room and calls for his girlfriend, but she doesn't respond. He goes to check and sees the gray pickup parked outside. The noises continue. He finds his girlfriend beaten and the man holding her with a knife. The man talks about feeling insignificant and that all he has left is violence and revenge. He kills Fred's girlfriend in front of him, then sends Rachel a photo of her brother. The man calls Rachel again. She tells him she called the police. He already knows. He checks the tracker on her phone and sees she is at Kyle's school. He gives her 3 minutes to pick up her son and drive away, or he will kill Fred. He forces Fred to write a letter blaming Rachel for everything, and then pours gasoline on him. Meanwhile, Rachel rushes into the school, gets Kyle, and they speed away. She calls the man back. He puts Fred on speaker and makes him read the letter. Suddenly, a police officer enters the house. The man hides behind Fred, lights him on fire, and runs. The officer shoots the man in the shoulder. Rachel hears everything on the phone. She stops the car and breaks down crying while Kyle tries to comfort her. The phone rings again. It is the man telling her Fred is dead. He threatens Kyle, but Rachel threatens him back, done with his games, and smashes the phone. She and Kyle get back in the car and head toward the police station. On the way, they realize the man might still be tracking them with Rachel's tablet. Kyle finds it taped under the seat. Rachel has the idea to use it to track him instead. Kyle realizes the man is right in front of them. He has stolen her neighbor's van. They see a police car ahead, and Rachel tells Kyle to put his seatbelt on. She pulls up beside the van and tries to get the cops' attention. The man figures out what they are doing and rams the police car, causing a massive crash. He continues chasing them. Kyle calls the police from the tablet, but they say they can't help right now. The tablet dies, leaving them completely on their own. Rachel decides to head to her mother's house. The neighborhood is complicated enough to slow the man down. She speeds up, and he follows, causing multiple car crashes along the way. She manages to trick him for a moment and reaches her mother's house. She lets Kyle inside. He activates the panic alarm, gives him a flashlight, and hides him in a secret compartment upstairs. The man circles the neighborhood looking for them. He sees Rachel's car and stops to take his medication and gather himself. Suddenly, Rachel rams him with another car. She walks up, but he grabs her and pins her to the ground. He tells her she will always remember him and what she could have done to save her boy. With Rachel down, he goes after Kyle inside the house, calling for him and pretending to be the police. Kyle makes a noise. Rachel appears in the hiding spot at the same time as the man. They fight fiercely. The man keeps trying to get to Kyle while Rachel attacks him relentlessly to protect her son. He knocks her down and starts strangling Kyle, but Rachel finds her candy cane scissors and stabs him repeatedly, finally killing him. The police eventually arrive. Rachel and Kyle are approached by the officer who found Fred earlier. He tells her that Fred is still alive. They drive toward the hospital to see him, making sure not to anger anyone else on the road. If this recap kept you on the edge of your seat, smash that like button, subscribe for more intense thriller and horror recaps, and turn on notifications so you never miss one. Next one's going to be even more unhinged. Thanks for watching, and next time you're stuck in traffic, maybe just take a deep breath instead of honking. See you next time.